Good afternoon. My name's Liz Rowlinson. I'm property hunting on the Costa Blanca with MASA International. I'm going to introduce Paul from MASA here, and we've got a buyer, Sue Karkut. So, hello, guys.
Hello there. Hi.
Hi.
Paul, tell us about what you do in Spain. Where do MASA sell, and what we're going to be seeing in this? What is the point of this session?
Okay, so yes, so my name's Paul Payne, and I work for a real estate company called MASA International. And we've been based on the Costa Blanca in southeast Spain since 1981, so that's 41 odd years ago. And essentially, we help people to find either second homes, holiday homes, or even arrange full-time permanent moves for our clients. And we sell all kinds of properties, from apartments to villas, new and old, across the Costa Blanca. So that would be starting in the north at Denia, all the way down to Alicante, and out the other side as well, and all the way down to the Mar Menor, which is just into the Murcia area. Today we're going to be focusing on a particular area, which is called Ciudad Quesada. Viewers of A Place in the Sun television program may well have seen this area featured a lot, because it's one of the most popular areas for buyers. And I think we'll come on to why that is during the course of our little chat. So yes, essentially we help people to find their property in Spain, and we arrange viewing trips, arrange for clients to come over, and I'm sure Sue will tell us a little bit more about that as we go too.
Yeah, and am I right in thinking that it was actually built by an entrepreneur in the 1970s as his sort of dream town?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, yeah, but very good. So it's actually built by the Quesada family. So the town is named after the family, and there's many roads within the town where you can see family members have managed to get their names on the roads there. So yes, it was started about 40 years, or a bit more than 40 years ago now. And it's just grown on from there. It belonged to the small town of Rojales, which Quesada has now eclipsed that in terms of size, and has grown into a very sort of modern city with just fantastic amenities and facilities, and that's why it's very popular.
Yeah, no, it's certainly very popular with A Place in the Sun viewers and listeners. So, Sue, tell us about your journey to Quesada. When did you first start thinking about wanting to buy in Spain? Why Quesada?
Well, we started looking in Spain probably last year when we had the lockdown. Husband's always wanted to go. My parents lived in Portugal for about 20 years, so we've done Portugal, so we decided to try Spain. He'd been to Torrevieja before, but years ago. I signed up to the Place in the Sun property search, so I was getting emails every week of the top 12 properties. But we did want something specific. We wanted a brand new build, originally a penthouse or a townhouse, on a complex, because she's literally lock and walk away. We went with an open mind, and then we weren't quite too sure how we were going to do it. And then I had an email saying that the Place in the Sun were going to be at Birmingham NEC in, I think it was end of September, October. Yeah. So we went, where we met Paul, and he knew exactly what we wanted, showed us places that were lovely, and we booked there and then to go out in the November for 4 days. They did all the flights, everything, met us at the airport, put us up in a hotel. It was really nice. We would never have been able to do what we did without them. It's amazing. And I actually do tell people, if you're going to go look for anywhere, do this, because it's the best way to do it. He showed us quite a few properties on the first day, but I think it was the second property we actually went to. We fell in love with it, and it wasn't a penthouse, it wasn't a townhouse, it was a ground floor apartment with a lot of grounds outside, front and back, and it's locking car park, lock a car away and things like that. So, but it's really well built. My husband was really specific on the build. We just fell in love with it, and the area is absolutely wonderful. It really is. It's lovely. Yeah.
Brilliant. So you're still working. I mean, is it going to be a holiday home? Is it somewhere you plan to spend longer periods? What's your...
I work University of Derby. Luckily I work from home and I only work in the afternoons, and it is a contract, but I was only supposed to be there for 7 weeks. I've been there nearly a year now. Mm-hmm. The second time around, because I was with them before. My husband's going to hope to slow down and probably retire in about 3 years' time. He does run his own business and he is busy. Mm-hmm. But so we're going out a week on Wednesday where we take possession of our property and start filling it up. And then I'm going out with my sister-in-law in April. So I'm going to try and go out about once a month. And then eventually we've got a camper van. We'll go over with the camper van and take our dog. Got a dog called Bella, and stay over there longer. So yeah.
Brilliant. And how many bedrooms has it got?
It's got 2 bedrooms, and we've got a sofa bed as well. Because originally, again, we wanted 3 bedrooms, but you think, well, there's only 2 of us. Why do we really want 3? And the way the property's been built, there isn't any corridor, so it makes the rooms bigger. So you go the bedrooms and everything are off the main area, and it makes the lounge a lot bigger. Yeah, it's
brilliant. Well,
can't wait.
I know. And was it lockdown that just thought you've got to do this? What made you suddenly think?
Well, my father-in-law kept pushing as well. He kept pushing. You've got to go and find something. You've got to go and find somewhere. So that's what we did. As soon as we could, we came out. We went out and decided on Spain, and that area. We wanted to go to that area in particular as well.
And it's such, it's, as we're going to see, it's such a slick new build. Why was your husband so keen on new build? Because he just wanted not to arrive from his holiday and have to do the garden, do this.
Yeah, we didn't want to garden. We've had the garden landscape. We've had the astroturf put down and some stones and things. So there's no looking after it. I think we've got an orange and a lemon tree in as well, which they've done for us and everything like that. But we wanted something modern, because everything got the house we live in now, it is modern, but it's not modern. We just wanted something special, and say a well built, something new, and very modern looking, which it is. As you say, they're very slick, very nice, and the pool area is fantastic.
Yes,
where the pool is, it's just got everything there. Everything.
Brilliant. Okay, well, we'll come back to you after we've had a look at it, actually. But Paul, so how it seems to have gone very, very smoothly with Sue. That's a typical. I mean, you managed to get the viewing trip in that window of opportunity last year before the lockdown again. But I mean, it seems to have been quite an easy process for her.
Yeah, well, it's great. I mean, Sue really helped us because she had a really clear idea of what she wanted, what was important to her, but equally kept an open mind as well in terms of the type of property. So we had a nice brief to work with. Also, we understood the sort of price range as well. So it makes our job very easy. So when my colleague Chris, who looked after Sue in Spain, met her, he was already aware from discussions with myself, because as we said, I met Sue at Birmingham at the Place in the Sun, which was really good. So I'd given my colleagues a good brief, and they prepared areas and locations that could possibly work. So Sue and Rob actually looked around different areas as well, but ultimately decided that the area of Quesada was going to be right for them.
It's so often that's the journey, though, isn't it? They come to the Place in the Sun exhibition, which we're just about to do another one in Manchester, and make the appointment, the viewing trip, and that's the sort of it can happen quite quickly, can't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, it does. I mean, and Birmingham was. I mean, as you know, we've been part of the Place in the Sun exhibitions for many years, but Birmingham was something special. I mean, because it was that window of opportunity. There was so much pent up demand. I mean, there were people it was almost difficult to get people in at one point, where there was so many people wanted to attend. So people were coming with more than ever with a really clear idea, right? I want X, Y, Z. When can you get me out? You know, and we were arranging. People were arriving over the weekend. We were arranging trips, anything from a few days later, and some are still, you know, booked then to go out now. So yeah, people, there's a lot of determination now. I think there's a lot of sense of, you know, life is short, and let's stop putting off plans and start making action and getting these things done. So that's why things like A Place in the Sun Live are just fantastic events for meeting people, and we're all prepared and geared up and ready to make those viewing trips and arrange that for anyone that's looking to find a home.
Now that we could flying's getting easier and easier, generally. Okay, well, let's have a look at Quesada, because you're going to show us a little video, aren't you?
Yeah, I wanted to give a little insight into, you know, what is the town of Ciudad Quesada, and what is there for people. So there's a little short introduction video for you, where we can have a little look around and see what's there and what makes it so special for so many buyers from the UK, and well, not just the UK, from all over the cold bits of Europe.
Okay, well, let's take a look.
Quesada is a young and popular town situated 3 miles from the sea. The construction of Quesada began more than 40 years ago and is undoubtedly the fastest growing city in Costa Blanca. Today it is a city with its own town hall, schools, recreation centre, hospitals, 4-star spa hotel, restaurants and shops. In Quesada you can enjoy a round of golf, play tennis or relax with a game of traditional English bowls. While the more adventurous might like the aqua park or horse riding at the nearby El Rancho. Quesada is very well situated as it lies 4 miles from the seaside city Torrevieja, 30 miles from the buzzing capital city Alicante, and 3 miles from the wonderful sandy beach of Guadamar. Quesada is located between 2 salt lakes that contribute to the unique climate and healthy environmental conditions. One of these lakes is a nature reserve with rare types of birds such as the flamingo. For those who like getting close to nature, Quesada is also blessed with a beautiful park where you can walk among the pine trees or enjoy a picnic in the sun.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of suits everyone, doesn't it, Quesada, in terms of lots of amenities for families, retirees, perhaps. You know, who are the buyers? Obviously, Sue is loved it, but you know, who does it really suit?
Well, I mean, this is perhaps why it is so popular. It seems to tick a lot of boxes for a lot of different types of people. So we get everything from people looking to retire there, great for people looking to retire because you have the medical centre, you have all the shops, bars, restaurants around. It's got a very nice feeling. It's on its high street. It's quite a lively high street, but not rowdy, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of amenities there, the golf course, the bowls, tennis, lots of sporting and outdoor activities. So yeah, it would appeal to someone looking to retire there who wants to have everything close by. But equally, families as well. So people are buying either as younger families or for younger families, part of the extended family to use the property. So things like the water park there are great for little kids as well. And there's lots of outdoor areas. And you've got Guadamar Beach, which is got to be one of the best beaches on the Costa Blanca. And that's 5 minutes or so by car down the road. You can access the big towns like Torrevieja, where you've got loads of shopping centres, big marinas. And really importantly, it's not too far from the airport, because when people are buying a second home, usually one of the priorities is that, you know, we don't want to spend hours driving to our house or long taxi rides, you know, if we're just coming out for the weekend. So Quesada's only 30 minutes from Alicante Airport. So if you just want to nip out for a couple of days to escape the awful British winter to your house in Spain, it's very viable for a short trip too.
Brilliant. Okay. And Sue, what areas? Paul mentioned that you did look at some other areas. What was it that really attracted you about Quesada rather than the other areas that you looked at?
The other areas, when we walked into some of the places, it was like, it wasn't a holiday home. It was just dog's barking. Sorry, that dog's barking. Right. It didn't feel like home.
Other developments you looked around?
Yeah, the other developments. Right. Yeah, we had one where we could see the sea, but it was like being in a hotel block. It wasn't like somewhere you just go and go, I'm home. Where as soon as we walked in to the apartment, we just knew it was right. It was just one of those feelings, just walking in, and this is what we want.
But did you drive around the area quite a lot before that? As far as deciding if you liked the location.
We did a bit of driving round, and then the days afterwards, Chris took us around to other areas. We saw other places, but we're so pleased with where we picked. We have been looking at places on the internet. You think, oh, that looks nice, and when you go past them, you're thinking, oh, that's not very nice, or it's right by a main road. So you pick all these places you want to go and view, but when you actually see them. So we were quite pleased that they picked out things for us to go and see, rather than us saying we want to see this development, that development. Otherwise we might not have found where we are.
Well, yeah, there's two things there, isn't there? There's that getting out and seeing places is really important, rather than trying to buy off the internet.
Yes.
And actually kind of having a good agent that really thinks they can show you what, listens to you and finds out what you want to buy.
Yeah. And finding out what we needed to do next as well. The lawyers and getting your numbers and everything. I mean, it's very, very difficult, and because we had them helping us, we got our number in like a couple of hours, where it could have taken a couple of days. We'd have gone by ourselves.
Your NIE number?
Yeah, the NIE number, yes. I mean, it literally, the lawyer, we went straight to the notary and did it there and then. It was great.
Brilliant. Well, we'll talk about sort of aftercare in a bit, but shall we have a look? Because I'm dying to see we're going to watch a video of Property One, which is Paul, I believe, the development where Sue has bought.
Yes, well, obviously I had to show something where Sue's bought, so we could see what's made Sue and Rob so happy. So the first property I want to show you is an apartment. We're going to have a look at the show house. There's a video of the show house, and we can see the pool area and such, to give you a kind of idea on what does an apartment look like in this area. Now, there's lots of different types you can get there, so this is just one example. And on this development, you can buy 2-bed or 3-bed apartments, and this is a 2-bed, 2-bath apartment with a garden, this particular one, and prices here are starting at 230,000 euros at the moment, which is about 192,000 pounds. So yeah, let's take a look.
Great. Okay. Wow, now that is very contemporary and very stylish, isn't it? The quality of the new apartments in Spain has just gone woomph.
Very much so, yeah. And when we go back to the talking about in this particular instance as well, this is the Quesada family who started the area. They are part of the family that actually building these properties as well. So they're very, very detail orientated. So it's all about using the sort of highest quality finishings as possible and a good standard of build as well. So this is what you get in today's modern properties in this area. So you can have a wide range of furnishing options as well. So everything can be pulled together so that when you get those keys to the house, you can walk in and hang your clothes up and get on with your first of many holidays. Can
you buy the show home?
Yes, you can. Show homes are for sale. Yes. In fact, on some of these developments, the show homes are for sale. In this case, you can. Depends on the development, though. So the show house will always be sold at some point, but the builders don't always want to sell the show house to start with because they need it in order to sell the other properties. So, but yeah, at some point, the show house will be sold, and you usually have the option to buy the furniture as well.
Because it just looks so good, you know. You'd think, oh, I want it right now.
Absolutely, and in this particular case, the builder has their own furniture store as well. So you can say, even if you're not buying the show house, you could say, I just want it like this, and they will replicate it. Or you can amend things and change things, which I think you did right, Sue. You had very similar kind of setup, but you chose a few different things to tailor it to your own needs.
Yeah, we did. Yes, very much. Yeah.
Because how much would you roughly say to furnish an apartment like that?
Well, it kind of depends on the quality of the furniture and exactly what
like the show home,
you're probably looking at anything from between 10 to 15,000 pounds for that particular style. That's very much the top end in terms of the kind of the best stuff is in there. But you can furnish a 2-bed, 2-bathroom apartment from about 5,000 or 6,000. What you're looking at there would be more like probably between maybe 12 and 15,000, which is but depending on exactly what you chose.
And I imagine now it costs so much more to ship furniture abroad because of Brexit. I think people who can have the furniture there, I think that's quite more of an attractive option.
Always, yeah. It's. I mean, it always has been like that as well, because furniture, like property, is a massive business over there because everybody buys a house, needs to have furniture, and usually the cost to bring something over from the UK, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So, and there's so much choice, so much variety of different price points. So, and the furniture stores, whether it's the builder doing it or whether part of our after sales service is we take people furniture shopping. So whether they just need a TV or the whole lot, we'll get all that sorted. That always includes installation as well. So it's not like you've got to open it up and put everything in place. Everything will be put in there for you, and all all of the packaging taken away. So it's quite a well-drilled system, shall we say?
I bet, yeah. Well, look, shall we have a look at the second property, which is, I think we can recognise is by the same developer, isn't it? I think there is a sort of a very nice, clean style there. So let's tell us about the, I presume property 2 is going to be more expensive because it's a bigger property.
Yes, I'm afraid it is a little bit more expensive, but I wanted to show you an example of a townhouse. So this is, if you like, one step up from the apartment. So this gives you a property split over 2 levels, plus solarium and terraces and garden. And this development and this townhouse is called Riva, and well spotted. It's from the same architect, from the same developer. So you will see some similarities in the style that's delivered there. So these are 3-bedroom properties. There are also some 4 bedrooms as well, but we're going to look at a 3-bedroom here. And the price for these properties are, you can have key ready, so you can move in straight away, no long wait at all. So they start at €334,750, which is in pounds, is a couple of pounds under £279,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's take a look. Great, yeah. So, I mean, solariums, they're very much a part of traditional and new Spanish homes. I mean, what are you allowed to sort of do? Are there any restrictions about how you can use them? Can you put barbecues and things like that on them?
Yeah, absolutely. They are made to enjoy barbecues or have a drink on, watch the sun come up, watch the sun go down. Of course, for much of the year, it's pretty warm up there because you're fully exposed to the sun. So if you plan on using your solarium, you're going to want to have some kind of shade put in, and there are various options for that. We call them pergolas. So you can have, so if you want to escape the sun. So yeah, great spot to kind of usually can enjoy views, and from the Quesada area, which is important. So I'm not sure if we've touched on this, but it's very, very close to the La Mata salt lake, which is a natural area. You can't build houses there. It's just for walking around, a protected area. You're not even allowed to put a boat on the lake. So you can, from most of the properties there, particularly solariums, get a nice view to the salt lake, and it might as well be a sea view. So you're looking at an expanse of water. So usually from your solariums, you can get some sort of good view.
Brilliant. And can we talk about upkeep costs, sort of for how much it's going to, what do you have to pay? And I can then talk to, mention to Sue about how much she thinks her property is going to cost to run. But I mean, on the townhouse, what sort of monthly fees are you going to have to pay?
So on any property in Spain, if it's part of a community and there's a communal pool there, each owner will contribute a bit towards the upkeep of any communal areas and pools. So there's no leasehold in Spain. So whether you're buying an apartment, townhouse, villa, there's no leasehold. So each owner has a share of the freehold in the community. The community fees will run from about €50 a month upwards. So for the apartment would be around 50-60 euros a month. The townhouse is a bit more because they are a larger.
Bigger.
So expect to pay around 70 per month for a townhouse. We could apply to any property that we talk about in Spain as well, but typically communities range from a bit under 50 up to sort of 70, 80 as a maximum, depending on the kind of amenities that need to be supported by the community. So if there are things like lifts, underground parking, these kind of things would potentially increase the cost of the community, but very reasonable. Much cheaper to run a house in Spain than here in the UK.
Unless there's lots of swanky spas and golf courses. When I've been to some developments in Spain where you can pay 2,000 or 3,000 a month. So I think you've got to just make sure that what you from the outset of exactly what they are.
Yeah, that's really important. And as you're going around with us on a viewing trip, all of these numbers are to hand. So we'll be able to go through that, and it varies depends where you are in Spain as well and how developments are run. On the Costa Blanca, it's a bit different to the Costa del Sol, where you can get really high community fees. So even if you buy a golf course on the Costa Blanca, the golf course will be a completely separate business. So you still only have your property and your pool to take care of. So you will not find anything on the Costa Blanca that will be any more than the sort of levels that we're talking about.
Right. And Sue, have you got I presume you've got a budget for sort of how much roughly your apartment costs to run each month for all in?
Not so much at the moment, because obviously we don't know know how much electricity we're going to use. There isn't any gas. It literally is electricity, water, and your Wi-Fi costs and the community charge. So until we get an idea over a couple of months, we're not quite too sure, but we know it won't be too much.
Right.
It won't be a lot cheaper than obviously here, or yeah.
Okay, great.
Just on that as well, I was going to say, for budgeting as well. So in addition to the community fee, you do have to budget a few other things, as you mentioned, water and electric. That's done on usage, so it all depends on how much you're going to use the property, how much electric and water you're going to use, and you also have a council tax, which is in Spain called Suma. Which again is a fraction of what we're paying low here. So 2-bed apartment in that area, around 300 a year. Should be no more than that. Electric and water is done on usage. We normally suggest for average kind of usage, if you budget about 150 a month to cover your community fee, water, electric. Of course, if you leave your air conditioning on all day and all night, that figure could quickly double. But if you budget around 150 a month for an average property, that should cover pretty much all your running costs.
Okay. And another thing, you should always check if you're buying somewhere that if you want to rent it out when you're not using it, that's legally can happen. Sue, you're not planning to rent out your property when you're not using it, are you? Or
no, not at all. No, it's just for us and family.
Right.
Yeah. Nobody's going to go in there. Just us.
It's too nice. They don't want to. You don't want to spare it.
And we've got a rule: if anybody breaks anything, they've got to replace it.
Very good. Yeah, but I mean, the odd person will want to rent it out, mightn't they, if they can't get there, for example, or something. Paul, how much? Have you got any idea, sort of rental rates, what a lovely, like the townhouse, might rent for in the summer?
Oh, yes. Okay. So 3-bedroom townhouse in the summer, you would expect to pay around 130, 140 a night during the peak of summer. Outside of the summer, or during the winter or lower season, shall we say, that would probably come to below 100. So it depends on the time of year. But you touched on a really important point there. So if you are looking to buy a property and want to get some rental return from it, there are some regulations in Spain now. So you do need to obtain what's called a tourist license, which your lawyer will be able to apply for you, and also through our after sales department. there are some locations where it's just not possible to get a tourist license as well. The idea is that the tourist license principle is to protect the hotel industry. So if you're buying in an area where there are lots of hotels, you may find it more difficult to obtain a tourist license, or in some places it's just impossible. But that's something we really need to know if that's important to the buyer, so that we can show them the right places where we can obtain all of this documentation should that become part of the plan.
Brilliant. Okay, well, let's whiz and see the final property, which is a house. We're saving the best till last. Well, depends what you want. But how much are we? What are we seeing, Paul? And how much is it going to cost?
So the third and final property I wanted to show is an example of a villa in this area, a new modern villa. Again, you're going to see similarities in the style and the finishings, because it's from the same developer that we work with in that area. So this villa is called the model Jade, and is one of about 7 or 8 different styles of villa that we have in that area. And this is a 3-bedroom villa with a private pool, garden, still built within a community as well. So an ideal property that you could either live in full time, or you could have it lock up and leave. So yeah, let's take a look at Villa Jade. And the price, importantly, this particular villa is €456,000, which is about £380,000 on today's exchange rate.
Brilliant. Well, let's take a look. Yeah, you can see the same trademark style there. And I mean, it's a great, very big, lovely property. Ideal for a family holiday home, or even living there full time. Are you getting people moving, keen to sort of make the move over full time?
More than ever. Quite interesting. You think post Brexit, there was a lot of concerns whether, can we go and live in Spain? And the answer is a firm yes. And at Birmingham, usually when we do the shows, probably it's 70% second homes, 30% full-time living. At Birmingham, there were more people looking to actually go and live in Spain than just buy a second home. So yes, it's absolutely possible, and we assist our buyers with all the necessary paperwork that's required now if you want to move to Spain. Now we are out of the EU. If you want to go and live in Spain, let's say you want to go and retire in Spain, there's a visa that you can obtain, which is called a non-lucrative visa. It means you can go and live in Spain, but you can't work there. And this process can take between 2 and 3 months to obtain that paperwork. So we start that planning straight away as soon as we start talking with people. So yes, we can assist with that. And yes, you very much can still go and live in Spain.
Brilliant. And I mean, in terms of sorting out a viewing trip, Sue, obviously, it really worked for you, Sue. I mean, it would. I mean, the alternative is going out on your own, under your own steam, driving yourselves around, meeting. I mean, why did you like the fact that it was all organised for you?
It was just all there. We would never. Sorry, the dog's joined us now. We would never have found our way around. We didn't know what places to go to. We didn't have to do the research so much.
Yes.
It was just so helpful. It would have been an absolute nightmare, because originally we were going to go over a long weekend, but we didn't know nobody opens at weekends. Spain shuts at weekends.
Oh, so
all the places, the builders don't work at weekends, so all the places we want to see, we wouldn't have been able to. So
I think that's a really valid point, because I think some people go on holiday and maybe often with kids in tow, and they think, oh, let's squish a bit of property viewing in. Yeah. And as you say, they might even get it completely wrong and things are closed. So I think you need to really dedicate, you either know, are you on holiday or are you trying to find a property, don't you?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, this is definitely the way to do it, because it's not just finding the property, it's everything afterwards, which we didn't know about. Applying for things, doing, you had to have your numbers before you could buy anything else, like a car or anything like that. We didn't know anything like that. So it was a real eye-opener. Very, very helpful.
Yeah, because you need to open a bank account, don't you? Have your NIE number, and then probably use a currency broker exchange, to sort of...
We used the Place in the Sun currency broker.
Great, good
Again,
plug
that was
there.
Brilliant, saved us a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we used the lawyers they recommended as well, my lawyers in Spain. They've been so helpful. So we've got the bank account open now, we've got money in it. So we're all ready to go for next week.
Oh, I'm very envious. But you've certainly flagged another piece of good advice, always, which Paul always says anyway, but, use a lawyer in Spain when you're buying, protect yourself, even when, we deal with lots of reputable agents and developers, it's always good to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. Well, so Paul, next steps for buyers if they want to arrange a trip. They can come to one of our exhibitions. If they're watching this after Manchester, they can come to London. But tell us otherwise. How do they come out and see you?
So if you're watching this video and it's pre 5th, 6th of March, then and you can get to Manchester, do come along and come and say hello. Come to visit the MASA stand, where I'll be there all weekend. Happy to help you. If it's post Manchester, then you've got London coming up in May, or you can contact me anytime. I'm based in the main here in our UK office, which is in Kingston upon Thames, and I also meet clients all around the country. So give us a call or drop me an email, and I'll be happy to help you plan your next steps, and indeed a viewing trip if that's something that you'd like to come over and use. And
it's typically, is it 4 days, sort of ideally?
Yeah, so we're quite flexible on that. It's really important that it's not something that's rushed. It's an important decision, and we don't think that coming for just 2 nights, we can do it if that's all the time you've got. But in an ideal world, come over for 4 nights. If you need to extend that a little bit, that's fine as well. If you want a couple of days holiday tagged on the end, we can do that. But typically a viewing trip is 4 nights, which gives us plenty of time to explore that area. And don't forget, Quesada is one of many areas that we cover. So during a viewing trip, we can introduce you to lots of different locations that could work for however it is that you want to use your house in Spain.
Brilliant. And your properties are all on your website, mostly, are they?
On masainternational.com. Our website is updated every day. At the moment, properties are coming and going at a rate that I can't remember ever being so busy. So but don't. I think Sue touched on this earlier, which is a really, really good point that Sue made, is that it's best not to be property led. Best not to make a definitive list of all the properties that you want to view. That's really good information for us, because it gives us a steer on what the buyer is interested in and the style that they like. Because properties change so much, they're bought and sold very quickly. It's better to come with your brief, what you want, price range that you can work with, and let us plan everything around that for you.
Great. Yeah, and it feels to me as if prices are sort of on the up in Spain in the popular parts anyway, because the demand is there and the supply is limited, from what you say.
Massively, yeah. It's for a number of reasons. The primary one is that we've got 2 nearly 3 years if you include those that are waiting for Brexit to see what was happening there. So we've got a lot of people have entered the market as of the sort of second half of last year, and even more so this year, and that's having a real impact on prices. New properties are getting harder to come by if you want to move straight in. Luckily, the 3 that we've looked at today, there are all what we call key ready properties there at this moment. But as new developments are built to meet the demand, and resale properties as well, which we deal with, are coming to the market, prices are certainly on the up. So if it is in your plan to find a home in Spain, there's certainly a big financial interest to get those plans underway sooner rather than later, really.
Yeah, great. Well, look, thank you. And Sue, thanks very much for coming and telling us about your house. It must be very exciting to go out next week. And we must do a catch up with you, maybe a 6 months or a year on, and to see how you're getting on.
Be lovely. Yes, very nice to do that. Yes.
Brilliant. Well, look, thanks, Paul. And I'll see you in Manchester or at Olympia.
Absolutely. I'll see you soon, and see you soon too, Sue.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks. I hope that's been useful.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.